Thanks, Samir. That was a good start. Since you spoke about the changing consumer and changing media consumption habits, I have a question to ask with regard to the two gentlemen between the two of us. Do you find media owners and agencies equally worked up about these changes?
The answer is yes and no. There are a few partners beyond doubt who understand the way things are moving and who really are focused on making that difference. Unfortunately, the part that I clearly miss is the fact that our creative agency partners are still not as clued into digital as we would like them to be. And because they are not as clued in, or because the senior most creative talent in the country still doesn't work on digital enough, I think that's one link that we seem to miss. And without that fourth spoke, it's not possible to deliver cutting-edge work.
Rajiv, Samir spoke to us about what kind of keeps him awake at night in terms of the changes around us. As a media owner, what keeps you awake? For example, unlike your counterparts in the US who worry about newspapers shutting down tomorrow, for you the challenges are completely different. So what keeps you awake with regard to consumers and their changing habits in India?
Can you hear me? Yeah. To answer this question, this is more of a cliche, but nothing is worth losing a good night's sleep. Okay? I don't think anything is worth losing a good night's sleep, because if you don't have a good night's sleep, you cannot work well the next day. And I expect everyone who shows up in my company to be able to give in their 100% when they show up for work the next day. We have created in our company a framework wherein the framework helps the company keep delivering the promise it makes to its consumers as well as its customers day in and day out. That's one of the reasons this brand goes back almost 100 years. Now, legacy brands get created only if they keep meeting the brand promise day in and day out. However, if there is one thing that I'm concerned about all the time, the bedrock of a media company of the type that we run is the inherent trust people have in the news that we create. Therefore, that's one thing we work no ends to make sure that the news that we provide to our people is trustworthy, our consumers is trustworthy. It's a product which is created by extremely hard work done by our editors and our journalists, who are numerous in numbers, starting with the news gatherers and news reporters. And that's one of the reasons people come back to the newspaper, because they trust inherently what they read in the paper. So to answer your question, if there is one thing that we are all the time concerned about, it's to make sure that the news that we create is something that our readers can trust.
You don't want to be news of the world.
Well, there are always black sheep, but in the end, they meet the end that you have just seen there, Matt.
Sam, you've probably seen more brands at close quarters than any one of us in this room. Do you believe in Rajiv's theory of remaining fresh all the time and not overly worrying, or do you really worry?
No, actually, I was just thinking in my mind that I should have heard Rajiv a lot many years earlier, because I think in the last few years I have been losing a lot of sleep. And I'll tell you why. And I think even the whole of today has given me a lot to, in some ways, worry about. Because I think all the speakers that I heard today were brilliant, and I think everything that they said was so true. And but the thing that worries me is if leaders of marketing companies, advertisers, and if leaders of advertising agencies are saying at podiums like this that this is what we need to do, I just can't figure out then why are we not doing it? And who is stopping us from doing it? I mean, some of the examples I saw were brilliant. what percent of the total advertising spend was spent on such things? I dare say not even 1%. So I think, according to me, the big challenge is everybody knows, and Samir put it so eloquently, everything is changing. You know, the consumer has changed phenomenally. Our markets, Samir's markets are changing dramatically. Samir's kid customers have become consultants. The media market is changing dramatically. You never ever saw in the print market the kind of fight that is going on in Bombay today between Rajiv's paper and DNA and Times of India. Everything is changing. But somewhere I do feel that the advertisers' paradigm and the media agencies' paradigm has not dramatically shifted in terms of action on the ground. The thinking is still evolving, but there's a kind of such a huge gap between the cup and the lip, so to speak. And I talk more about this because I met this young lady there who's into change management. So actually, I don't know, at forums like this, we go on talking about engagement and whatnot, but actually what we do on the ground is nothing but sheer exposure. And we're still using the 100-year-old media model, which says what media must do is deliver the maximum number of exposures at the minimum cost. Now, I think the world has moved on, and it seems to me, after hearing everyone, and I too myself feel, that in today's world, an exposure or even 100 exposures is not enough to make a sale or to convert a prospect into a customer. So in my view, I think the challenge for the marketer and the agency is to stop doing this carpet bombing, which earlier we used to do and we could afford to do, and that in a way was marketing or advertising by fluke. You just took a machine gun and went da 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 da, and you hope that you'll get someone along the way. Just for this session, as I was developing my thinking, I took a look at some media plans of my own agency for some of our very big brands. And I came to the conclusion that what we are actually doing is, if we wanted one customer or we wanted one user, and let's say to get one user, you had some empirical evidence to believe that you had to have 20 people try the product to get one person to become a regular user. Maybe you need to expose 200 people. But I think most of our brands actually expose 2,000 people, 20,000 people, 2 lakh people. So I think that funnel is getting so broad at the top, and then it's sort of sharply narrowing down, leading to a lot of wastage. Media is becoming more expensive. Now, I think this is a paradigm shift that, I'm sorry to say, Samir, that must start with your brand manager, because even today, you see, despite everything that Samir has said, the brand manager is going to want his media plan to reach several million people at the lowest possible cost, so that he could get maybe 500,000 people to chew gum every day. That paradigm, I think, we must change.
Samir, if anyone has broken the mold, it is you at Perfetti. And I noticed that in true modesty, you fast forwarded the slide on Happy Dent. I think it will be nice to hear what happened in Happy Dent and whether truly we kind of explore new frontiers.
Yeah, I think to begin with, I couldn't agree more with Sam that there is a crying need for brand managers to be educated, is the word. And I said this at a forum even recently in Bombay, But the part that I miss, Sam, clearly, is that expecting the brand team to be educated on their own is not going to happen. I really think that between the media owners and the media agency partners and the brand management team as a collective team, there needs to be a lot more education and a lot more risk-taking, collective risk-taking that should happen. Unfortunately, what happens is that when media owners or media partners come in and make a presentation, it is still being seen that let us spend some incremental money on digital, for instance. Whereas what needs to happen is that we need to find, as Srikant was saying offline, we need to find a language which compares efficiencies and metrics across the 3 different or 4 different mediums. And then to say that let's do a test market, let's cut off the tail of a media plan. We are also happy buying quality GRPs on TV, but we are not that happy buying or investing the same amount of money in experimenting with initiatives on a test basis, maybe a state, maybe a certain brand, and then going by the proof of the pudding. And I think that's where the biggest challenge lies, to my mind. At Periphery, I must say that along with our media agency partners, we've been able to do some stuff on HappyRent, on Mentos, on Centerfresh, which has done very well for us. So on HappyRent, we've done things on Facebook, where we have a very large fan base uploading their pictures all the while, because they're happy, smiling pictures. That's what the brand is all about. So we've done lots of initiatives around that, and then we send them their photographs on mugs or on calendars. So the winning pictures every week are then send merchandise back, which does extremely well and goes very well with a core message. Similarly on Mentos, which is all about Dimaki Batti Jalade, we've had a Mentos helpline on the net, where you can type in your questions and you get really wacky Mentos answers, and not regular answers. And stuff like that has done well. But have we done enough? No. And has the industry done enough? Definitely not, is my feeling.
So that was good consumer engagement, but one of the things that FMCG companies such as yours keep saying, to make a significant shift from TV, you need evidence of scale happening on this medium. Scale with measurability. Is that something that holds back you from signing a bigger check?
Definitely, that is something that holds us back, no doubt. And I think that's where I would love it if a media owner or a media agency partner were to come in and say that why don't we take this risk together? Why don't we say that, as Sam said, let's go and try this in one state on one brand or on a small brand. Let's stick our necks out together. If this takes off, we will partner or we will have a percentage of the gain. Right? That's where I think, and that's why I said up front in my slide, that digital needs support. Right now, it doesn't get the requisite support. And one of the reasons it doesn't get that support is this whole piece of the creative partner, the media owner, the media agency, and the client getting together and saying, here's something that we're willing to risk. Let's cut the tail of the plan, so to speak, and use that money elsewhere and let it deliver. Otherwise, we will always stay in this whole piece, as Sam rightly mentioned. The brand guy, at the end of the day, at the end of his appraisal, needs to demonstrate that yes, I did everything right. My brand track scores moved from X to Y, but I delivered these many GRPs. And if this didn't move beyond this, it's possibly the product wasn't right, distribution wasn't right, and so on and so forth. So you need to find, I think, a more compelling argument than what we have today.
Rajiv, Samir spoke about agency owner and the client needing to work together. Do you think that your salespeople, Sam and my business people, and Samir's brand managers are working in silos and not working closely enough? For example, if you take print media, your people are selling on a rate card, and at best one innovates with things like mastheads and cover on cover and stuff like that. Is it possible that tighter working together can lead to innovations of the kind we've not seen in print medium? For example, in the internet, editorial and advertising integration is far tighter. I know there are issues on separation of editorial and content on advertising, but do you think the scope for innovation will improve far more, given the fact that in India, print and TV will continue to remain important?